Hello, and welcome to Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. I'm Susy Parker Goins. I'm a channel, so that means divine comes through me to talk to you. You get to establish a relationship with your spirit guide, so you can carry on with them outside of any sessions we have, so you can talk to them, get to know them. I'm also an energy healer, a Reiki master, a past life explorer and healer, a teacher. We just have the tools, and I want to help facilitate your healing. All of my links are posted in the description box for podcasts, financial support, contact information. I do thank you for the support you do show me, the subscriptions and listening and all that stuff. It gives me those resources and the encouragement I need to continue uploading and developing and uploading this content. So in the real world, in the ideal world, I'll upload meditations on Mondays and thoughts on topics on Thursdays. I'm working on. I'm available for online consultations and phone sessions. You can contact me for current pricing, availability, and even to find out what online events I'll be coming up at, I'll be showing up at. And that the best way to get a hold of me is through my email address. And that's susypgoins@gmail.com. Oh, this is YouTube, so like, comment, subscribe. Do the YouTubey things. Show me your love. What else? Okay. Previously on Blue Lightning Healing Meditations, meditation on Monday was about clearing energy, releasing cords, setting boundaries, and your protection about you. And then the Thursday before that was part one of the empath talk, where we talked about the different kinds of empaths and traits to look for. So just a real quick recap is different kinds of empaths. There's emotional empath, where you take on other people's emotions. There's the physical and medical empath, where you can take on pain from somebody else. The geomantic or place empath, where you can tune into the energy of a place. Plants, animal. Claircognizant or intuitive, and that's just knowing stuff, being able to suss out stuff. And I think that's where the ones who can tell if you're lying are considered. And then there's the Heyoka. I touched on some of the traits that you can look out for, like, this is kind of like a real quick Google search. Do you have any of these traits? You could be an empath. So one of them is that crowds have an effect on you, one way or the other. Empathy, you'll have an empathy and can totally understand. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes with their experiences, whether you've had that experience or not. Some people will just come up and tell you their life story way out of the blue. Some people will take advantage of your kind heart. You are sensitive to external stimuli. You can feel, and like the physical empath, you can take on somebody else's pain. You feel a compulsion to fix everybody else's problems. Sometimes you feel like you don't fit in, and as a result, you may spend a lot of time alone. And you can, like I said, with the intuitive empath, you can tell when somebody's lying. But first, let me clarify one big thing. Being an empath is not a bad thing. You're not weak. You're not crazy. You have a special gift. Now, as far as empathy is concerned, that's not related to being an empath. All right? Having empathy for somebody is taking the time to understand somebody's situation, put yourself in their shoes in that respect, and and have compassion for them. That's empathy, and we can all stand to use a little bit more of empathy right now. Let's see, but more than anything, so first off, you're not crazy, you're not weak, you have a gift. But I also want you to understand, if the only thing you take out of this is it's okay to say no. It is okay to have boundaries. Your ability does not have to drain you to a point of exhaustion at any level. Okay, boundaries are a good thing for everybody to have. Now, I have met some empaths who say they want to experience all the feelings, that they don't mind feeling all the feels. Yeah, I don't agree with that. But I'm certainly not going to judge you for feeling that way, okay? I would ask you to examine the reasoning behind that thinking, however. Is there some internal issue you're avoiding by allowing everybody else in and not yourself? Yeah, trauma can cause people to shut down on so many levels. Emotional and physical, psychological, spiritual, it can happen. But I do ask you that if trauma is keeping you from looking at your own issues, that I would encourage you to find professional help. Because you're not alone. We're all in this together. And so do what you need to help yourself be better. Okay, now, off that soapbox. Moving right along. So, as an empath, how do you manage? What skills or tools do you need to learn in order to navigate through your life? Are there pitfalls to be on the lookout for? Well, first and foremost, I encourage you to pay attention. So there we go. Boundaries, paying attention. Pay attention to how you're feeling at any given moment. If you're able to catch this external influence early, it's easier to mitigate. Some things to look for. Is your anxiety kicking in? Do you sense maybe that person over there is kind of off? Do you feel drained? Pay attention. See, that was number one. Or boundaries, whatever. What do you sense? You look at the emotion or the situation, the environment, or whatever from every angle. Use discernment to figure out where the feeling is coming from. Discernment is a really great skill to develop in your life. In general, everybody can use discernment. It allows you to determine the source of an energy or an emotion, even information. You use discernment when figuring out which guide is coming through. Is that Archangel Michael energy? Is that Mom or Mother Mary energy? Is that your grandmother? You can use your discernment to take a moment and figure out what it is, what the source of it is. You can even use discernment to decide if that food or that thing is good for you. That can also play out as applied kinesiology or muscle testing, which, a whole nother topic. Woohoo! That's another podcast altogether. I love muscle testing. Okay, so back on the script. So for the sake of empath living, when you are faced with, say, an intense emotion, take a breath, or 2 or 3. Still your mind. Just quiet it just a little bit. And then ask, is this mine? And then you listen for the answer. So if it's yours, use your adulting skills and handle it as best you can. And that's my shirt today. See, cleverly disguised as a responsible adult. I can deal with my own stuff, and we don't have to look at me at that angle again. Okay, so if it's not your energy, then you release it with love. And you release it with love for the best outcome for everyone involved. And then leave it alone. Don't take it back. It doesn't serve you, and it doesn't serve the other person if you are taking on their stuff. You're denying them a golden opportunity to handle their own stuff, to learn from their own experience. Discernment comes in handy when you're in a crowd. First off, if you're in a crowd, listen to this meditation from Monday and set up your shielding around you. That's probably what this meditation on Monday is going to be, is about shielding too. Setting up more shields, more practice at it. But when you're in a crowd, I admit there are some places I don't even like to go, particularly the big warehouse stores. There's that energy of buy, gotta buy all this stuff, all that consumerism and commercialism that just, it hurts, it pulls at my heart, and I just think, I can't do it. The way I deal with it, I don't go. My husband is able to handle it, and he understands that it makes me feel anxious, and it's good. So I don't go in. Also, I'm a cancer survivor. I am still dealing with that trauma. You would think that after, 7 years, that I would be okay, but it goes really deep. And then when I go to these facilities for follow-up, I still get, whether we call it triggered or I can feel the emotions there. It's not only because of the reason I'm there, which would be a trauma-based reaction, but also because of the other people who were in there at the varying stages of their treatment. My empathy for them is way off the charts. I can feel where they're at in their process. And it hurts my heart so deeply that this is something other people have to deal with. But I have to remind myself to breathe, to send out love to everyone, again, for the best outcome, and breathe. Boy, howdy, do I breathe there. And then on the way home, my husband drives and I take a nap. I think naps are my best friend in dealing with empathy activities, with empath activities. My consciousness can travel away and shake off whatever it is I took on. I'm rebalanced, I get reset. It clears my head and my heart from all of the stuff that's gone on. So what it boils down to is give yourself time to recover from any of these activities where your empath gifts are kicked in. Whether you need to have a nap or eat a snack, you meditate, you take a walk outside, connect with Mother Nature, wherever your talent lies, wherever your heart lies. Do something you love to bring yourself back to yourself. Give yourself time to do it. It doesn't have to be really fast. It may take a while. I will ask you not to use the media as a means to recover. The media can be really overwhelming these days. There's so much going on, so much emotion, so much energy swirling around all the different events. And social media in particular is chock full of people who are happy to tell you what their opinion is and why you need to have that opinion. And, some of them you may agree with, and some of them not so much. So as I find myself scrolling through social media, there are a lot of people screaming at each other, or just screaming. And whether I agree with their view or not, the intensity can become overwhelming over time. So I limit my screen time. Is it easier said than done? Yeah, sometimes. But because I'm committed to my own peace of mind, it's easier. There's a basic tenet in Buddhism, and it's detachment. It's not to get invested in other people and their karma. Not wanting to, you can't fix other people, which is something that empaths love to do, is to fix other people. So if we can take on this ideology, this philosophy of detachment, it can help. At first you may think, oh, but I have to care. I'm a caring person. I have to care. We can care, but It's when we get all wound up in somebody else's trauma, that's what's draining. It's not that I don't care. I do. But I have my own issues to handle, and I understand other people have their own issues to handle. I can't fix them. You have your lessons to learn. I have my lessons to learn. I can't learn your lessons for you. That's denying you this golden opportunity to grow up, to be an adult. So it's really quite liberating. Once you have experience, it's refreshing to find yourself not caught up in other people's hyped up drama. So I get to breathe and smile and walk away. I've got to maintain my balance. I see my options and I take my actions with calm and peace and hope. That's how I'm going to make it. So, does that mean I've cut some people out of my life? Yep. There's a situation where as soon as I realized that someone in my life, was baiting me every time I talked to them, I had to talk to a third person and say, look, this is what's going on. And the conversation on our part prompted action. And as much as the baiting person tries to make me feel guilty for limiting contact, I stand my ground. I have that boundary with that baiter, and it's really quite nice. Other people have met me and for some reason have told me their life stories out of the blue. All I said was, hello, and bleh, they have unloaded on me. Being able to learn to say, thank you. That was interesting. Oh, look at the time, I have to go. And walking away. It's a skill. It's a skill to learn, and it can be hard at first. You don't have to be rude. Give yourself the time to practice. But be firm. Be definite. And then walk them away. Then you walk away, or you can direct the person out. Oh, God. There's a friend of mine, a dear, dear friend of mine. I've learned so much from her. But she told me about the exit objects she had in her office. These are objects that she has in a place of honor by her door. And sometimes she'll change them out to add interest to it. But what happens is when somebody has overstayed their welcome, or the conversation is done and somebody didn't know how to get out of there, she will walk them over and say, oh, did I show you this statue, painting, floral arrangement, whatever? Have I shown this to you? Here, look. And here's a little bit of background information on this object here. And oh, thank you so much. The conversation was fabulous. Thank you. Bye-bye. And she sends them on their way. That's brilliant. Before I learned about that, I had been in a situation where I was at an event, and this woman talked to me extensively about a past life she had. And I mean extensively. And it wasn't so much a conversation that I could contribute to, but it was her going on and on and on about it. I'll be honest, I felt trapped. And she was definitely taking advantage of the situation and me. So empaths, we care deeply about people. We often put ourselves at the bottom of the list. So rather than listen to this woman go on and on and on, I now have in place that exit sign, that exit line. I gotta go. Thank you so much. Very interesting talking to you. Oh, what a pleasure. Here's my card. Bye. And then to get to walk away. That's the important part, to leave the situation that's causing trouble for you. So whether other things that happen, or whether it's because of chemo or my empathic abilities kicking in, I'm really sensitive to noise and strong external stimuli. Sometimes it makes me sad that I can't eat all that spicy food I used to. I'll be, it could be age, whatever. But there is a lot of muchness in the world that I can't, that bothers me. So I pay attention. There's that again. I pay attention. So I'll ask my family to turn the TV volume down. Or, there's some vloggers who I can handle during the day, but in the evening when I'm tired, their extraness is way too much. And some of them I just can't watch. But my family understands and respects those boundaries, those limits. The first couple of times I got a what kind of look. But as I'm better able to understand myself and express my feelings, my family gets it. They're cool with it. Boundaries. Yeah, there's that thing again. Pay attention and boundaries. Those are good things to have in place. I mean, some people will be all like, oh no, rules don't apply to me. Or, I've dealt with the same situations and look how I turned out. Yeah, right. Some people will call you weak. And you're not. They're insensitive. They are disrespectful. When you have a boundary, the expectation is that that boundary is respected. So, when you come across those people who think boundaries don't apply to them, those are exactly the people that a boundary is in place for. What else? Stay firm with your boundaries, please. Don't break down and capitulate to these people who would disrespect you. I mean, if they choose to ignore your boundary, walk away. That's another kind of boundary. Report them to a boss or, whatever you need to do. But you need to stand firm. Please stand firm with your boundary. Leave the situation. Don't let them get to you. Because it is their problem. They're not looking at. And it's not your problem to fix. It's going to be hard at first, sure. You don't owe them an explanation. You walk away, you breathe, you release, maybe breathe some more. But understand, it is their problem and not yours. See, empaths feel compelled to fix other people's problems. And that's why boundaries can be a challenge. Why you don't want to end excessive conversations, because you may have that thing that will fix them, that will heal them. You may want to avoid conflict when you lay out your boundaries. But really, try boundaries. Give them a try to stand your ground or walk away. Please put your peace of mind and calm at the top of your list. So whether you walk away or spend time in the garden, meditate, be with people who uplift you, who share your vibration, who understand you, doing the things that you love to help you recover, to take care of you, do all that first. And until next time, blessings.